Halloween Day, 1963. In the coastal town of Iguape, Brazil, people looked up from their porches and saw something they could not explain. A bright metallic disc drifted low over the rooftops. It shimmered in the sun, wobbling from side to side as if damaged. A heavy, rhythmic pounding sound rolled across the river valley, not thunder, but a mechanical pulse that grew louder as it ascended. Witnesses said the craft was shaped like a shallow bowl, silver with a small dome on top, about 7 meters across. It flew no higher than the treetops. Then as it banked towards the Peropava River, it clipped the top of a palm tree, shearing off several fronds. The impact sent it veering sharply, and in the next instant, the disc slammed into the river. Water exploded upward. For a few moments, the river seemed to boil. Mud and bubbles surged to the surface in a wide circle, and then silence. The strange hum faded, leaving only the sound of frightened voices calling along the bank. Among those who saw it were Huchi Souza, just 8 years old, her mother, Elijah, and her uncle Raul. Across the water, fishermen Tetsuo Ishigawa reported the same thing, a gleaming object plunging straight down and vanishing beneath the surface. Within hours, word spread through Iguape. By evening, dozens of locals crowded the shore, staring at the calm brown water where it had gone under. The next morning, authorities arrived. Brazilian officials took the report seriously. Divers were brought in to search the river, which was only about 12 feet deep, but filled with thick mud beneath the waterline. At first, they used simple masks, then full diving suits with air hoses and even mine detectors. Each time the divers came up empty, the muddy bottom yielding nothing. No metal fragments, no oil slick, no sign that anything solid lay buried below. For days, the teams returned. The government engineers in charge widened the search area downstream, suspecting that the current might have carried the object farther along the bend. Still nothing. Locals said the divers worked from sunrise to nightfall for nearly 2 weeks before the operation was finally suspended. The only physical evidence was the damaged palm tree, its upper trunk torn and splintered where the disc had struck it. Investigators measured the height, about 6 meters, and confirmed that something heavy had indeed clipped it at speed. But whatever that object was, it was gone. Some theorized the craft had sunk into the mud and was swallowed by the riverbed. Others believed it had repaired itself underwater and silently lifted away during the night. With no debris to prove either version, the case was left open. Years later, the witnesses' stories never changed. Huchi Souza described the disc as bright as polished steel, moving as though it were alive. Her mother remembered the sound, a deep pounding that she said she could feel through her chest, and fishermen who had rushed to the scene swore that the water itself seemed to boil with light before going dark again. Newspapers across Brazil briefly covered the investigation, calling it the Iguape mystery. After the search ended, the government offered no further comment. No fragments were recovered. No official explanation was released, and the file quietly faded into the archives. Today, the Peropava still runs unhurried, sediment-rich, and hushed beneath the palms. Locals still point to the spot where the water churned and the palm once stood. Some call it a legend. Others believe the truth is still buried beneath the mud, waiting to be found. What happened on that Halloween afternoon remains one of Brazil's strangest unsolved encounters. A UFO crash witnessed by many, investigated by the state, and never explained.